Welcome back to Monroe Madness. This is the William Monroe Dragons versus the Skyline Hawks in the first round of the regional playoffs. If you are now joining us, it is the start of the second half, 14-14 all, with Monroe deferring at the coin toss, so they will receive this kickoff and have the first possession of the third quarter.
Thank you, Joseph. It's again, we're at the Fabulous Fun Twins. I'm Ryan. Joseph is on color commentary. Thank you for joining us here at Monroe Madness. Start of the third quarter.
With Ethan Capperton kicking it off deep with Jeremy Savoie on the receiving end.
And he'll run it out. Get tackled at about the 25-yard line. So, the 15-yard line. So Monroe's 26, as Monroe is back deep in their own territory to start the second half. And we'll see what Jared Knights can do with this offense. Dupree Rucker's been on a tear. We mentioned at the top of the show, and I'll mention it again, he needed only 150 yards to pass 2,000 and get the single-season rushing record. First time since 2007 it had been done. And there's the Knights with a
pitch out to Rucker as he slips and falls as he tries to go to the outside at the 20-yard line. He falls.
So a loss of 6 for Monroe. Put it back at the 20-yard line. A loss of 5 for Monroe back at the 20-yard line. And as I was talking about Dupree Rucker, I believe he had 150 yards to get to 2,000 to break the single season.
As Knights hands it off again to Dupree as he breaks and is rushing up. You can see the speed that he has as he exits at about the 50-yard line as Skyline forces it out of bounds there.
That's a William Monroe first down. Keep those teams moving on this drive.
Anyone know how many yards Dupree has? More than 153?
Yep. Before that run, he had 160.
So coming into this half, he had 162 yards, which got him up to 2,000 and then broke the single-season Monroe rushing record.
And that is the first time that a Central Virginia running back has gotten 2,000 yards since 2007. As Shiflett with the carry.
For Monroe.
Up to the 45-yard line of Skyline.
So we here on the broadcast booth extend our congratulations to Dupree. It's been a great senior season for him, and even better since he's in the playoffs, with Monroe tied with Skyline 14-14. As they are just past midfield, looking to score on this opening drive here of the second half. Knights back under center. And that off to Rucker. He'll bounce outside. Looking for some room, and
as he runs, and
believe he got the first down then. That is a William Monroe first down as he knocked over the first down marker. So move the chains into Skyline territory on this cold, cold night here in Standardville.
It's about 35 degrees out for all you people watching in the comfort of your own warm home. So these football players are moving, so they should have some fun. The fans out here are freezing their tails off, but came out to support the local team. As a handoff to Shiflett again, and he stumbles for about a 1 or 2 yard gain there.
So second down and 9 after the gain of a yard by fullback Philip Shiflett. Ball on looks to be about the 38-yard line. As Monroe breaks a huddle, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be a handoff to Rucker again. He'll look to find some yards. He'll find a hole, and he will be dragged down at about the 34-yard line. Excuse me. Going more into Brentfield territory.
Looks like they've placed the ball, yes, at the 34-ish yard line in Skyline territory. 3rd and 3, 14-14, all with Monroe on the opening drive of the second half.
Knights back under center. And off to Rooker. He will barrel through back to the outside and get the first down and a couple more. I believe.
Looks like Dupree was wrapped up in the backfield, possibly as he drug his defender forward.
So
with a 4th and 1 here for the Monroe Dragons on Skyline's 31-yard line. As you can see, Monroe is breaking huddle and going to the line of scrimmage, forming up for this 4th down opportunity. This is the first time we've seen either team go for a 4th down in the game, as Knights keeps the ball, and there is a shoving match at the line of scrimmage before forward momentum is finally whistled to a stop.
Jared Knights with the keeper, and that's another William Monroe.
Jared Knights with the
first
keeper.
down for Monroe, and that's Jared Knight's first running yards of the game. A little 2-yard keeper got the first down. Keep the drive alive.
The ball is now at the Skyline 29 as Knights runs back out to the huddle to give instructions to his offense. This offense is doing really well today when they have the ball, doing little drives here and there, nothing too big, but enough to keep Monroe in the
As
game.
Knights is under center, he will give it back to Dupree. And Rucker will be driven back for a loss of what looks like.
As number 77, Patrick Slate, grabbed onto Rucker's jersey there and spun him around as he...
So it looks like a loss of about 5 or 6, I believe.
As he dragged him backwards. So the ball...
So a loss of 1, excuse me, 2nd and 11.
They roll the forward momentum stop a yard back from where he was to begin with.
So Knights back under center. He will hand off to Rucker. Nope, he'll look to throw, I believe.
Under pressure from number 22, Anthony Domino.
And there was an incomplete pass. So Domino, a force on offensive wide receiver and here on defense for the Skyline Hawks.
Knights there having pressure and trying to dump it off to number 84, Evan Wagner, as Wagner unsuccessfully slides and tries to catch it. With 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, it is 3rd down with 11 yards to go for the Monroe Dragons as they inch closer to the end zone. As we try to convert here, meaning we will have a fresh set of downs or we will have a possible field goal.
Knights
with the flea flicker as he is rocked and down, an incomplete pass.
So that flea flicker went absolutely nowhere. It is now 4th and 11. Send on the special teams unit. I believe it is the field goal unit.
It looks like yes, it looks like they will be sending on Knights again to try and convert on this 4th and 11 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. With Skyline's opposing side over on the opposite side of the field, their fans being very rowdy as Knights takes the snap and throws it. Caught by Drew Hoffacker, an amazing catch under pressure. Michael Davis putting pressure on Drew Hoffacker. Hoffacker making an amazing acrobatic catch to haul that ball in and putting the ball at the Skyline 14-yard line, for the Monroe Dragons, giving us new life as we go down to 1st and 10 right near the goal, trying to capitalize and make it 21-14.
So the amazing catch by Hoffacker sets up 1st and goal here in the red zone, ball in the 14. Knights hand it off to Rucker. Shifty moves, and he will be
dropped, stuffed as he tried to make a cut back towards the middle in the Skyline 15-yard line. So a loss of about none there. They are placing the ball, so it is 2nd and 10 with 5:55 left.
So the Dragons break the huddle, come back to the 15, 2nd and 10. Looking to capitalize on this opening drive here after new lift was given by Drew Hoffacker catch.
As Hoffacker moves far away from you on your screen and out to the middle, finding a hole.
Rucker with a carry of 5 yards there. Brings up 3rd and about 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, I believe. No ruling yet. 3rd and 2. So a 3rd and very close to the first down marker and the end zone as the Dragons try to capitalize here on this opening drive.
With Rucker able to cut back and find a hole there and run for some yards.
It's now 3rd and 2. Rucker will look to plunge in.
Diving forward, it looks like the ball will be placed at the 5-yard line with 4th and 1/inches. Looks like it's a little bit closer than 1 yard. But again, another critical 4th down here for Monroe, deep in Skyline territory on the 5-yard line with 4:14 left in the 3rd quarter.
So the Dragons have chewed clock on this drive, saved by an amazing Drew Hoffacker catch, and now face 4th and inches. Skyline 5 with Knights under center. Take a snap hand off to Rucker. Rucker will plunge through. He'll look for a hole. And he is
in.
Touchdown Monroe.
There we go, Dupree Rucker. It is now 20-14 Dragons, with Rucker finding a blocker of Phil Shiflett, the fullback, leading Rucker into the end zone there.
He has now rushed over 2,000 yards.
That will officially put Dupree Rucker rushing over 2,000 yards on the season, a new Monroe record, and the first Central Virginia running back to do so since a Monticello running back in 2007. Congratulations, Mr. Rucker. Brandon McDonald out for the kick.
Nice with the hold.
It seems to be a fake as they throw it to the end zone, where number 5
2-point conversion attempt, no good.
bobbles the ball. Gavin Hussar bobbles the ball on an attempted 2-point conversion, leaving the score at Monroe 20, Skyline 14, with 3:54 left in the 3rd quarter.
And I want to go back to Dupree for a second. What a way to get 2,000 yards. Cash in for a touchdown. Take the lead here as we close in under 4 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. With Monroe looking to stay another 12 minutes on top and cross out the lead and keep the lead and hopefully close out this win.
Round.
So as Monroe sets for the kickoff, we'll take a little break. Be back in a minute. Monroe 20, Skyline 14.
Welcome back after that Monroe touchdown and failed 2-point conversion. It makes it 20-14 Monroe Dragons with Brandon McDonald out for the kickoff here. They run forward and try a squib kick down to the 15-yard line with Hunley with room to run, wrapped up by
Haley with the return for the Hawks.
number 8, the Dragons, Jeremy Savoie.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Monroe Madness. I'm Ryan Flynn. That's Jordan Flynn to my right. 20-14, Monroe Dragons over the Skyline Hawks here in the first round of the Region 3B playoffs. And whatever team wins will go on to face Goochland at Goochland High School. So this is the hopefully the last home game for the Dragons in their quest for another state title. 1991, as I believe Appleton and
As the ball was on the Skyline 34-yard line, a run there by Logan Martico puts the ball at the 44-yard line now. A gain of 9, putting it at 2nd and 1 for the Skyline Hawks.
the second one for the Hawks. Appleton out shotgun, the halfback behind him. To throw, if you will. That'll be caught. Jakes the defender. It's a first down. I believe that is Haley.
Caught by Haley.
First down.
Caught at the 44-yard line with some gainage in yards. Puts the ball across midfield for Skyline with their first drive in the third quarter with 3 minutes remaining. The ball is at the 48-yard line of Monroe as Skyline breaks the huddle and comes to the line of scrimmage.
Appleton will hand it off. It will be stuffed. That is, I believe.
And there are now flags on the field, late flags on the field flying from the officials, so we wait to see what the call is. As the officials discuss what the call is, we apologize for the lag in the camera.
As Tyler Totten, number 51, checks in for the Monroe Dragons in the huddle.
As they still discuss this, we will see what the call is. A lot of flags this game. Personal foul against number 58 on the Dragons, giving them
Penalty is a personal foul against the defense.
Some big free yards all the way down to what looks like the Monroe 35 about.
Robbie Young, the culprit for that penalty, moving the ball all the way to the Monroe 33-yard line. A big penalty there will be costly for Monroe if Skyline capitalizes here. Apologize again for the camera. As the officials reset, the whistle is blown and play resumes with 2:31 left in the third quarter.
Appleton lines up at shotgun. That'll be a handoff. Shifty moves by...
And a run by the fullback Darian Santucci there.
And you talk about big penalties and capitalizing for Skyline. Monroe failed the 2-point conversion. Skyline used an extra point to take the lead if they score. I mean, I don't know what Monroe was thinking of for that 2-point conversion earlier, because that was just not smart. I mean, it would have worked if it was converted, but it's the playoffs. You play it safe.
Robbie Young checking into the game as Sam Hess runs onto the field as the officials bring the markers out to check the ball, as it will be millimeters short of a first down, it looks like, as they move the chains even more. It has been a very interesting game on the officiating side with lots of whistles and flags and who knows what calls being made. So we apologize for the confusion up here in the booth because sometimes we are genuinely confused as we have no idea what is going on.
You know what it was? Maybe they were just blowing it to, order pizza. 'Cause it's cold, maybe it's some hand warmers. I don't know. Anyways, second and 8.
But that call seemed to go towards Monroe there, putting it at 2nd and 1. Skyline looking to capitalize here and move closer to the Monroe end zone.
So they're looking for a run here as Appleton will be in the shotgun. Haley, to his right, Appleton will throw. He'll lob it up. It'll be caught for a Skyline touchdown.
Appleton to Haley yet again. That duo is looking more and more like a pair tonight, with Appleton favoring Haley the entire night. As number 9, Douglas Cummings, comes out for the extra point to put Skyline ahead 21-20 if he makes it. Here's the snap. Kick is up. And it is good. 21-20 Skyline after that touchdown and extra point. This is Monroe Madness. We will be back in a few seconds.
Welcome back to Monroe Madness. Skyline has taken the lead 21-20 on a touchdown extra point from Appleton to Hayes. And as I was looking at their player roster, Hayes has another year in Appleton too. So look for that connection more next year, as they seem to be hooking up quite a lot this game and all season.
Cummings out for the kickoff. Here's the kick. It seems to be a short kick with number 5 recovering it and then promptly fumbling it. So as the officials run in, as 3 of them converge on it, we will see who has the ball.
Monroe recovers.
With Gavin Hussar there with the receiving of that squib kick. Monroe recovers, putting the ball on their own 34-yard line.
So ball on the 34, a minute and 43 left here in the third quarter, as Monroe will have this time plus the next 12 minutes to regain the lead and hold it. See what they can do. Knights under center, hand off to Rucker. And he will be absolutely stuffed for, it looks like, either no gain or a loss. This
Looks like they are whistling it down at the Monroe 31-yard line, which means a loss of 2
it looks
3
like
yards.
It looks like the
apologies.
Skyline defense has actually gotten to Rucker. They finally halftime. Obviously, they made some adjustments, and they've gotten to his patterns, and they're just stopping him. So maybe you need to mix it up somehow. I don't know, but something to get us in the lead, hold it, and then hopefully move on. Fades Goochland.
We'll see if the offensive line can hold for the rest of the game, as they might be getting tired as Knights takes the snap. and hands off to Shiflett as he powers forward for a gain of possibly 2, putting it at 3rd and 11 as
carry for Monroe.
the 3rd and 10 as the seconds tick down on the 3rd quarter with 30 seconds remaining until the 4th quarter starts in this regional playoff game between the Monroe Dragons and Skyline Hawks.
So Monroe back out, 3rd and 10. Might we see a pass? I don't know. Looks like they may go to Rucker. Probably will. Knights under center.
Hoffacker running towards you, snapping the ball, a throw up towards Hoffacker. It is caught
By Hoffacker. Wow.
Another amazing catch by Drew Hoffacker. The Skyline 47-yard line.
What a
with
catch.
Pressure from Logan.
What a catch. And I believe that Monroe first down.
Tiso. But there seems to be yet
Another flag
on the play. And it looks to be against Monroe, meaning that amazing and acrobatic catch by Drew Hoffacker is no more.
Penalty is against Monroe.
Penalty is against Monroe.
There have probably been more flags thrown tonight.
Then first downs made.
It's crazy. I think if I had $1 for every whistle blow and flag throw, I think I'd be able to buy something pretty nice.
I'd be able to pay the refs off. That puts us at 3rd and 14 here, with Knights stepping back up.
And that's
And
the
with
end.
that siren, that is the end of the 3rd quarter. The score is Skyline 21 and your William Monroe Dragons 20. We will be back in a few seconds when the 4th and final quarter starts.
Welcome back to Monroe Madness as we are back. Start of the 4th quarter. Knights look to throw. He will air it out
To Evan Wagner, and that appears to be long. So that will bring up
Pass intended for Evan
4th
Wagner.
down here. 4th and 14. It seems that the Skyline defense is making the Monroe offense very tired and forcing them out of them being a running game. So we'll have to see how Monroe can recover when Skyline has the possession. It looks as if Brandon McDonald is coming out to kick. We don't know where Will our starting kicker, is. So we put thoughts out to him if he is injured or unwell. Here's the snap. The kick. Blocked. Recovered by Skyline. And touchdown, Skyline.
Touchdown. Skyline. Santucci picks up the blocked punt.
Santucci there, picking up the blocked punt and running it in for a touchdown.
And
That makes it 27-20, Skyline.
and that may have all but put the game away for Skyline as
If Monroe is playing as it has now, that might have put the game away. But if Monroe can rally and find 8 points, it's a score, and it is a touchdown and a 2-point conversion game with this extra point make. As Cummings is on, here's the snap. The kick is up through the uprights, making it 28 to 20. My apologies.
The score is now Skyline 28.
28 to 20. Skyline over Monroe with 11:46 left in the final quarter of this regional playoff game.
And this is like what we saw at Brentsville. It seems like ages ago, where they just collapsed in the second half. A couple miscues, 2 interceptions by Knights, and a personal foul that drew back a huge pass play down to what would have been the Brentsville, I believe, 5. That drew back the play all the way into Monroe territory and killed their momentum. And this is kind of what's been happening. They've been getting tired. They've been making miscues. The Skyline defense is getting to them.
And as we saw with Brandon McDonald out to kick, Will our normal starting kicker who has a cannon for a leg, may not be in for the rest of the game, which, as we saw there, caused some problems for Monroe, resulting in a block punt and a touchdown, seeing as McDonald does not see the field a lot as a kicker. With Cummings on with the kick, he lines up short. A short kick, landing at the Monroe 34 and bouncing out of bounds.
So ball in the Monroe 34 as Knights will come out and try to engineer the offense to get some points on the board. And, this is what I was saying earlier, that missed two-point conversion comes back to bite them. That if they just gone for the extra point, it would have been, at that point in time, it would have been 21 to 14, and this would have been a manageable touchdown extra point tie at this moment in time. But now they're going to have to possibly go for the 2-point conversion if they get the touchdown. So a whole host of problems stemming from that earlier missed 2-point conversion in the first quarter. Let's see if Monroe pick back up on offense as the ball's at their own 34. They're coming out of the huddle. It's going to the line with Knights under center.
Logan, what is Logan doing? What is Logan? Why is he lined up wrong? Oh, here we go. Fucking Logan. God, why did he not go corner over?
Here's a snap and the handoff to Pre, trying to find a hole as he is absolutely stood up with a gain of about
With the carry for the Dragons.
2 there, putting it at 2nd and 8. I have lost feeling in my toes.
So have I. It's been a cold night up here in the broadcast booth.
Luckily, the football players are able to move around since it is so cold. We are not. But enough of our woes and back to the field as Knights takes the snap and hands it off to Hoffacker as he is
Dropped for what looks like a loss. So
wrapped up. It's a gain of a couple yards with the ball being spotted at the 39-ish yard line.
So we go from our woes to Monroe's woes here in the fourth quarter as they're down 28-20, trying to get some points. Running, it is obviously not going to do something. You got to pass, go short, and it's cold. Monroe's gone cold, and this
They're
game may
probably tired as Knights takes the snap here. Hands it off to Dupree, who is wrapped up for a loss on 3rd and 6, bringing out the special teams possibly for a 4th and 8. So a loss of 2 yards 2 yards. My
2
word.
years. So, I mean,
The
if Rucker's back to a sophomore, that's great because he can just keep powering through. But I don't think he lost 2 years there.
with Brandon McDonald out to punt again. Let's hope this punt goes better than the last one. The last one resulting
In a Skyline touchdown that was blocked. And this one, fingers crossed, whistles blow, flags fly. More flags, I believe.
as they count the number of men on the field.
There's a flag on the play.
Looks like there are 12 men on the field. So another penalty on Monroe due to simple math and counting.
Penalty is against the
As it
Dragons.
blows us back even more.
So another miscommunication adds to even more of our woes here in the fourth quarter.
Skyline.
As Skyline takes a timeout, we will be back in a few seconds.
Baltimore 32, let's do the punt again.
As Brandon McDonald is back to punt. Here's the
We'll
snap.
take it, and this time it'll be a good punt.
End over end. Bouncing up over Pritchett. It might have hit him, being spotted at the 38-yard line, but there is yet another flag on the field. If I took all these flags and made a quilt, I think I'd actually be warm up here in the booth.
It turns out we're not.
But apparently the officials frown on that because they only have a set number of flags.
You know, when I go to sleep, all I'm going to hear is just whistle sounds. Because that's been the theme tonight. Just flags, whistles, and everything wrong you can think of. That's everything that has gone. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but things have gone wrong. Many things have
There
gone
have
wrong.
been more miscues than we would like tonight, resulting in a 28-20 Skyline lead. With
That's
the
probably more miscues than the state of Alabama can count on its finger.
with the ball being placed on Skyline's 38-yard line as Appleton lines up with the fullback Santucci behind him.
Haley out wide. Alfton takes a snap. I believe that is Haley.
Dump
He'll
off
make him-
to Mayatiso as he breaks a couple tackles and runs down the field to about Monroe's 36-yard line.
A massive first down for Skyline. And that's what you don't want to see. I honestly thought he was down. I don't know anymore. I think another touchdown will definitely put this game away for Skyline and end Monroe's season here.
Be a real shame as the team has come together as one at the end of the season to win their last 6 of their 7 games. As Appleton hands it off and the defense stands up.
But we talk about Skyline being hungry for a win, and
Carter with the carry there and stood up for Skyline right at the line of scrimmage. Sorry, a gain of 1 yard. So that makes it 2nd and 9 with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
and
Skyline is grinding down the clock here. So when Monroe gets the ball back, if Skyline does not score, it will be a 2-minute drill type of situation, no huddle offense possibly, trying to get it as the fullback stiff arms Hoffacker, who was then dragged for another couple yards.
Santucci with the carry for the Hawks.
And we talked about it at the beginning of the show, Monroe beating Skyline a month ago. You think this is kind of revenge for that? But
I think Skyline came back hungrier than the Monroe players had anticipated, and they took them lightly, and they have made us pay. With the fullback Santucci there with the carry, and a first down for Skyline.
I mean, you could take all that hunger and make a dinner plate out of it. We feed a family of 4.
You probably could. Skyline's Thanksgiving dinner was how hungry they were coming into this game. And may
I remind you, Thanksgiving is like a week away, so this is early Thanksgiving dinner.
And coming into this game, Monroe seemed to be extremely confident in their ability to beat Skyline. Apologize again for the camera.
As Appleton will take it, that'll be handoff
to Santucci, the fullback.
As he roll over a guy.
To Caden Pritchett, who grabs onto his leg and holds onto him.
Santucci with the carry for Skyline.
With the ball being placed at the 15-yard line.
That's kind of what we're doing right now. We're just holding on and waiting.
Sorry, the 16-yard line. With Skyline inching closer and closer with a 2nd and 2 towards another touchdown.
The 2nd and 2, Appleton will take it, hand it off to Santucci again. It will barrel through to about the 14-yard line. A first down for Skyline. Move the chains into, to the 12. Move it even more into the red zone and a possible Skyline touchdown. The Monroe defense is faltering as we inch nearer to the end of the game and the end of the Monroe season. 6:20 as the clock ticks down.
If Skyline scores here, it may be the end. If Monroe can get it back, score, get it back again, and score again, we might have a game on our hands. But with the way it's looking, the Monroe defense getting tired near the end of the game, we will probably
Appleton
have
off
that.
To Carter. That'll be a gain of about 2.
Carter with the carry
again. Isaiah Taylor on the tackle, putting the ball at about the 11-yard line. 2nd and 8 with 5:40 left to go in the 4th quarter.
So Skyline leads 28-20 here in the Region 3B playoffs. If those of you who are just joining us this late in the game, welcome to a cold night at Martin Mooney Field. I'm Ryan Flynn, here to my left. Cold here in the booth. The Monroe team has gone cold on the field as they have allowed 2 straight touchdowns for Skyline to take the lead and solidify it.
With Caden Pritchett needing his shoe tied by an official there, very comforting to see that relationship between the officials and the players. With 5:30 left, 28-20, Skyline is leading, and Skyline has the ball on the Monroe 11, 2nd and 8. With Skyline lining up. Sorry, 5:37 on the clock, 5:37 left. Here's the whistle, and we resume play.
Appleton with Santucci and Carter behind him. Will line up. He will take the snap. A throw. That'll be caught by, I believe, Hayes. Hayes will break a tackle.
Haley.
Or excuse me, that's Haley. And
into the
he's
end
in for
zone
the touchdown.
with a touchdown, but there are multiple flags on the field.
It looks to me like he got out, but he powered through for that touchdown.
Possibly stemming from the first tackle made, or first attempted tackle by Monroe. As we wait to see what the officials say, yet again, with another flag. I'll be adding this one to my collection. So I'll be able to be a construction worker with this much neon. As we wait, they pick up their flags, and
dude, with that much neon, we could just make you a store sign.
The officials walk out. It looks to be on looks to be a face mask on the Dragons. and it is a touchdown for Skyline, making it 34-20 with 5:20 remaining.
And I think that this may have just sealed the Dragon season right here.
With Cummings out for the kick.
Penalty is against the Dragons. Touchdown stands.
As we wait for the refs to blow the whistle and just check the extra point.
Time out, Monroe. We will be back in a few
Timeout,
seconds.
Monroe.
We are back. Cummings on for the kick to make it 35-20 and drive the dagger deeper into Monroe's heart. There's the snap, the kick. It's up. It's good. And why don't you drive that dagger deeper into the heart of Monroe players, fans, coaches, and staff? As their season is pretty much over, I'm going to say that. It's about 5
We don't know if
left.
it's over yet. It's still 15 points, so that's 2 scores, and one of those scores has to be a 2-point conversion. But as Monroe comes out onto the field to receive this kickoff, we will see how much life they can put back into themselves with 5:20 left on the clock. Monroe might be able to pull out a touchdown and then an onside kick and recover the ball and then go for another touchdown at best case scenario. But we will see what happens with Skyline's kickoff. Cummings, while kicking short, has been able to pin us back fairly well. Penalties have not been our friend, as it seems that every single call has been against us, but we don't know what is going on inside the officials' minds. We can only see what we see up here and guess what the call is when they signal it. So Monroe lining up with Jeffers and Naquan Dade back to receive.
And the two things that we do know are the score and the fact that it's really cold.
And for those of you who are just joining us, the score is 35-20 off of a Skyline touchdown and extra point with 5:20 left in the game. It is 2nd and 8. Sorry, my apologies. I'm just reading the scoreboard, not paying attention. Cummings is out to kick off as he backs up. There's the whistle to start play.
He signals to his line. He runs up, and there is a booming squib kick. Or there's a low squib kick.
There's a kick, and Jeffers fields it.
He'll be down at about the 30. So 5 minutes left on the clock here. 5 minutes left on the clock here for Monroe to get 2 scores. One of them having to be with the 2-point conversion. As stated earlier, the 2-point conversion early in the game has come back to bite Monroe here in the 4th quarter. So we'll see what the offense can engineer. The bright spot in Monroe in the otherwise low 4th quarter being the low second half right now. In the first half, Dupree Rucker was able to get a touchdown and get 2,000 yards for the season, becoming the first player in over a decade to do that. Knights under center. It'll be a
Rolls
look to
out
throw
and
it.
is absolutely blindsided and sacked for a incredible loss, as he seemed to not be seeing the defender who was running right at him, but that will put the ball back at the 25-yard line, making it 2nd and 18 for the Dragons. As we see, the Dragons are getting tired and cold in the second half. So we'll see what's happening, as if Monroe can make something happen with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 18 as Knights takes this snap. Whistles. Yet
Whistles, flags, and everything in between. Sounds like a good name for a book, honestly. Whistles, flags, and everything in between by the VHSL refs.
Again. It is a timeout for Monroe, and we'll be back when the timeout ends.
Welcome back to Monroe Madness. I'm Ryan Flynn. Joseph Flynn to my right. As Jared Ness will take the snap.
Put the ball up with amazing catch by Drew Hoffacker with room to run, and Drew is dragging a defender all the way down to the 35-yard line where he was finally thrown out of bounds. That is another William Monroe first down.
And no flags on this one. Jewish had some amazing catches, but they've been called back by flags. This time, no flags and a bit of momentum here.
That is an incredibly athletic catch by Hoffacker. If you were here earlier, him having a catch earlier that was out of bounds, that was extremely athletic, and yet another one under pressure to get us out where we scored the touchdown and failed the 2-point conversion. But a great catch by Hoffacker there, extremely athletic, a dual sport athlete, senior Drew Hoffacker, playing both soccer and football.
So with 4 minutes left, 96, the snap.
To Hoffacker again with tipped and incomplete by Hoffacker. Like I was saying, Hoffacker, dual sport athlete, playing both varsity soccer and varsity football here for Monroe, playing both sides of the line, all while taking a very heavy course load and being in the top 10% of his class, looking to go to UVA, I believe.
So what you're saying is Hoffacker plays both football and football?
Yes. Both American and European football. So Hoffacker is a dual football athlete.
As next under center will take the snap, look to throw.
And he puts it right at the feet of Wagner. An incomplete pass, putting it at 3rd and 10 with 4:02 left in the fourth quarter as the time ticks down as Monroe is down 35-20. Let's see if Monroe can turn that amazing Hoffacker catch into something more. With Monroe being able to capitalize and put a touchdown that might stifle the Skyline energy.
So Monroe player checking in and Nice taking the snap.
With another catch by Hoffacker as he is tackled from behind by Haley, who has been a key player with offensive defense, with the time ticking down and 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
So fourth
and 6.
obviously,
This is probably the game here. So if Monroe can capitalize on this and get a first down, it will kill the energy of Skyline. But we will see what happens.
Come
You never
on,
know what
boys.
happens after if we turn it over. So
We believe in you.
pitch
The pitch.
to Rucker, who
The
is
run
wrapped up
and
in the backfield. There is a 4-yard loss, turning the ball over to Skyline at the 34-yard line. So this, with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, might have possibly been the last drive for the seniors on Monroe. But you never know what can happen in football, as is seen by the last time Monroe and Skyline were down like this in 3 series. They basically didn't move at all. They just happened to change from Skyline to Monroe back to Skyline, with Skyline ending up capitalizing on a touchdown for that drive in the second quarter. With
Appleton behind shotgun, he will hand it off to he's gone. 30, 20, 10, 5,
touchdown,
touchdown. That is that.
and
That's
that
I'm gonna
is
say
now
now. That's the game.
41-20
41-20
with
with
3:06 left in the
3:06 left.
fourth quarter.
Monroe is burnt. That
it is
was
a 3-score game, with one of those scores needing a 2-point conversion.
That
and
was
unless
David
Monroe
Carter with the huge run.
can score 22 points
If you can score 22 points in 3 minutes, I'm
in 3
impressed.
minutes, it would be a miracle to keep this game alive. But as of right now, it may be the end of Monroe's season, but we will have to see what happens.
As Cummings will await the snap and the kick. It's up.
It's
good. And
as that kick makes it 42
Score is now
to
Skyline 42,
20, with 3:06 left in the fourth quarter. The Monroe football team, while down 22 points, had an incredible season, starting out really rough, losing their first 3 games to start 0-3. Then for the next 7 games, losing only one of them, going on a 5-win streak before losing to Brentsville, the homecoming game, and winning the next one. It is incredible to see what the seniors and the offensive line have done, coming together to give Dupree Rucker over 2,000 yards on the season. Congratulations again, Dupree, for that milestone as a senior.
And I'm going to stop you right there. He did it in fewer games. So Takeem Hedgeman, the last player to do it for Montreal High School in 2007, did it in 16. Dupree's done it in 11.
Dupree did it in 11
Crazy.
games.
It's crazy. He's an athlete. And obviously the season was highlighted by the 6th straight win against the Madison Mountaineers, and just this last 4-game win streak to come in, to even make the playoffs.
And our seniors this year are quarterback Jared Knights, fullback Philip Shiflett, offensive lineman, as the kick goes out and is wrapped up, offensive lineman Jonathan Walcott, tight end Evan Wagner, wide receiver, my apologies, Ronaldo Alonso Valdez, wide receiver Drew Hoffacker, defensive lineman Bobby Belair, defensive back DeAndre Brown, defensive lineman Sam Hess, defensive lineman Philip Hollis, linebacker Xavier Kolpak, defensive lineman David Mack, linebacker Jared Morris, defensive line Michael Morris, defensive back Caden Pritchett, defensive back Taylor Putnam, linebacker Woody Roop. So those are our seniors this year, along with manager Ben Watson. An incredible season for the seniors as time winds down with 3:02 left in the fourth quarter.
And obviously, you can't forget senior Dupree Rucker, who's obviously had this great season. And in a season full of starting at downs and finishing off at ups, it's been a heck of a ride for the Dragons. And I think the incoming classes have a good shot to carry on this team and hopefully
as
get some yards in.
it looks like Jared Knights is exiting the game with Blaze Van Dyke going in at quarterback. I believe that all the seniors should play one last series, but that's just me. With 3:02 left and Skyline winning by 22 points, it's 1st and 10 for Monroe.
And you know, it's been Knight's first full season as a quarterback here. He's a senior. And you know what? He hasn't done that bad. 622 yards, 6 touchdowns on the year. His favorite target being Logan Barber with 3 touchdowns, as Blaze Van Dyke will
hand it off to Dupree Rucker, who jumps and slides to the 49-yard line. As we were saying, Jared Knight is his first year as quarterback. He did an amazing job after having a bit of a rough start, not getting much playing time with Alex Kinsley departing. He was able to find his footing and give an amazing season as his first year as varsity quarterback. With Dupree Rucker coming off the field to applause from the fans. It now 2nd and 4 with 2:21 left. Again, down by 22 at their own 49-yard line.
And these guys are shooting in the backfield. These are Monroe's features. This is Monroe's feature. As Blaze Van Dyke will look, the throw. It is
incomplete. To Evan Wagner.
Evan Wagner.
He had it there on his fingertips, and then he dropped it. It was a good try there from Wagner, and a good throw from Van Dyke into coverage. It is now 3rd down and 4.
With 2:05 nearing the 2-minute mark here in the game, and the 2-minute mark closing in on Monroe's season.
We would also like to say thank you to our senior cheerleaders, Lindsay Akery, Leah Staton, Maddie Thomas, and Lauren Reynolds, for their years on the cheer squad and keeping the crowd excited. As a run by Van Dyke as he has stood up on 3rd down, making it 4th and 2.
As the clock ticks under 2 minutes.
Blaze Van Dyke is the keeper.
1:47 left on the clock.
On this cold Friday night lights here at Martin Mooney Field, the Monroe Dragons have also gone cold in the second half. After being tied 14-14 with Skyline, they came out and just they sputtered completely. It was they got a touchdown, took the lead, and then Skyline just put up 30 unanswered points to put this game out of reach. Van Dyke
hands it off to,
I believe that is Brandon
We're
McDonald.
calling with the keeper, and that's another William
Excuse me, that is
1st down.
like a keeper there. Actually, I believe Jeremy Savoy there with the run. My apologies. A 1st down for Monroe. A few seniors on the field.
As the clock ticks under a minute, they get in.
Everyone gets ready. We would like to thank everybody for coming out to watch this playoff game between the Monroe Dragons and Skyline Hawks as Monroe lines up for a 1st and 10 with 40 seconds left, down by 22. With Blaze Van Dyke rolling out under coverage and scrambling and making an 8-yard gain, as making it 2nd and 2
as it ticks under 30 seconds here on the Dragons season. 20 seconds on the
Dragons
left.
season. Thank you to everybody.
As the clock ticks under 14,
Dragons
13, 12,
try to get off one last play.
as it clicks
10
under
seconds.
10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
5,
As they get a
4,
playoff.
3.
Bomb one downfield to Shea Jeffers, where it is caught.
That's complete for Jeffers.
And that's the game. Thank you, everybody, for coming to watch the final game between the Skyline Hawks and Monroe Dragons. Final score, 42 Skyline, 20 Dragons.
And you know what? What a season it has been for Monroe. Starting out 0-3, reeling off 7 of their last 8.
7 of their last 8.
1 loss, a homecoming game at Brentsville. They reeled off their 6th straight win against Monroe, and you know what? It's been a crazy season. Their pre-record just hit 2,000 yards with a capitalization and a touchdown. It's been so much fun. I'm Ryan Flynn.
And I'm Joseph Lynn, signing off one last time from Monroe Madness.
We will see you here in the spring. From Monroe Madness, I'm Ryan Flynn. That's Joseph Flynn. Thank you to Jeff Stafford, our PA announcer. We bid you
For
we
one
bid you
last
good night.
time, we bid you a good night and
And
a
go
safe
Dragons.
trip home. Go Dragons.